Greetings. Nobody has an opinion. I'm nobody. But I have a question. January 6th has been in the news for quite some time. And there's been a lot of things that have happened due to the events that happened January 6th. Okay? For anybody who's watching this video and wondering what I'm talking about, January 6th of 2021, some people, there was a riot, basically. It was made to look like anyone who was a Trump supporter or a part of the Republican Party had decided to go and storm the Capitol building. I say it was made to look like that because people who go to rallies generally don't bring climbing gear, elbow pads, knee pads, and things like that. Okay? If you're going to a rally, you're going to put on your stuff. It's like going to a concert. If you have gear that represents whoever it is that's on stage, then you're going to put it on and you're going to go enjoy yourself. All right? But no one goes to a rally dressed for combat. And there were some people who were dressed for combat. Now, the timeline, there's an impeachment, by the way, that's going to happen, which is silly, of the former president, President Trump. It's silly because it's unconstitutional. An impeachment is to remove a sitting president. He's not sitting anymore. He's no longer in office, so what's with the impeachment? Anyway, supposedly the impeachment says that he incited this riot. Even though it has been quoted in the transcript of the speech has been out for quite some time. It's been quoted that he said, people will now go to the Capitol patriotically and peacefully to let their voices be heard. Now, in reality, this riot or this rally that happened before the riot probably was a bad idea. All right? It was a bad idea because it allowed some people to find out what was going on and find a way to discredit the former president. Everything that a president does, people know about it way in advance. Okay? He's just not, there's very few times that a president's going to do something that no one knew about. In fact, Secret Service knows about everything that he's going to do before anybody else does. So it was known by a lot of people that there was going to be a rally on January 6th. If you were a part of people who want to go out and discredit said president, then there's all kinds of time for you to go out and plan to start a riot. Now, let's be honest. People are dumb. Most people are pretty dumb. All right? People will follow a crowd going anywhere. And they don't even know why they're following the crowd. All right? There's a real probability that a lot of the people who were rioting were following a crowd. Okay? Should they have been there? Probably not. Yeah. Did they get caught up in the emotions? Probably. Does it all really matter now? Probably not. Okay. But we don't live in that reality. We don't live in some kind of a scenario where people being stupid is let go. No, everything has to be turned into some kind of political adventure. There's a lot of things that can be said about January 6th. Here's one question. How did this actually come to be? How did the people who were the rioters actually overrun the Capitol Police? Now you're thinking to yourself, well, that's just dumb. Why would you even say that? Well, because we're talking about Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. has more police presence in this city than anywhere else on the planet. There is probably more police presence than, I don't know, pick a place. The Vatican. I don't know. Anywhere. All right. The District of Columbia sits in an area that is covered by 2 states, Maryland and Virginia. They both have given up space for Washington, D.C. That's important because state police, okay, state police still operate, and state police operates in all of their state, which includes whatever section of Washington, D.C. So that's one. Then you have local and county officials. Washington, D.C. is a city, so therefore it has city police. It also has Capitol Police. It also has Secret Service. It also has county sheriffs. Washington, D.C. has been the location for a variety of rallies, protests, marches, all kinds of things. Dr. Martin Luther King was a part of the Million Man March, in which 1 million people, or close to it, showed up to march throughout the Mall of America. There is a heavy and extreme presence of the police in Washington, D.C. However, every police force has a chain of command. There's some people who are in charge of some things and some people who are in charge of other things. Let me use an example. Where I live kind of out in the country, so there's no city police. The area that I live in is patrolled by county sheriffs. All right. Well, there was an accident that happened, and the accident happened on the road. As it turns out, the people who got into the accident had to wait for the state police to show up, because the local county sheriff's department doesn't have the authority to oversee anything that's happening on the roadway. Now, if you got a problem at your house and somebody breaks in, or you got other things going on and you're on private property, or you're on not the road, local county sheriff can get involved and all is well. But the roadway, that's the state police's territory. And again, because I live out in the county, out in the country, there's no, I don't live in an area, I don't live in a city or a municipality that's got city police or whatever. Okay. So the sheriff's department responded immediately. There was the local fire department that responded immediately. And the tow trucks, were available, but no one could do anything until the state police showed up, because that's the jurisdiction of the state police. Seems a little silly, and a lot crazy, but that's just the way things happen. So, back to Washington, D.C. We got lots and lots of police forces. You got the guys on horses. You got riot control. You got the Capitol Police, the city police. You got your state troopers, your local county sheriffs. But when the riot happened, it happened on the Capitol grounds. So therefore, it was the responsibility of the Capitol Police. Here's another question. If you know there's going to be a lot of people in town for a rally, and you think maybe there could be a possibility that it could get out of control, wouldn't you ask for some more help in advance? As it turns out, the Capitol Police put in 6 requests for more help. The events of January 6th are going to be politicized and used for an extreme amount of time. And the results of January 6th brought about such things like the inauguration of the president on January the 20th. There were 25,000 National Guard, barbed wire fencing, and no one else. Oh, there was maybe about 1,000 people, but instead of having a big crowd of people who were there to see the new president, no, there's a bunch of National Guard people. Who's in control of these various different organizations? The Capitol Police, who is it that benefits from discrediting the former president? Who is it that is able to gain something from all of this craziness? These are questions that some of us might want to start thinking about. Anyway, y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.